let's get started on this amazing tutorial. So pick 2 of your favorite vinyls and you're gonna be good to go. You don't even have to follow along using fall vinyls. You can use spooky vinyls, whatever kind of vinyl that you want. And we're gonna do a double V split. I don't even know if that's the right word to describe it, but we're gonna use 2 different patterns and just use the glitter in the middle. I haven't ever done it this way. I haven't seen it done this way either. I've seen like the V split with glitter on the bottom or the same vinyl on top and on the bottom and then the cutout in the middle. But I just really wanted to mix and match patterns and I ended up falling in love with how this turned out. So you kind of just take your vinyl and measure your tumbler. Okay, and just so you can see like how high you want the V to go, etc., etc. And then you just cut the vinyl like in like a little triangle, if that makes any sense. That's the best way to describe how you're gonna wrap it. And then you remove the backing slowly and put down your like the pointy part of your triangle first. I started with the bottom. Now I don't know what was going on here. Good thing this is a time lapse because I was having all the issues with my sausage fingers. I ended up removing the backing, which was a bad idea. So definitely remove the backing slowly as you're doing this because I had all the issues, but I ended up being able to just smooth it out and work out all the air bubbles. And then what I did was I just cut the excess off of the bottom. So as you can see me going around the bottom here with my scissors, I'm just gonna cut off the bottom and then I'm gonna take my booger hooks and with my fingers, I'm gonna push down and fold over that excess vinyl that's on the bottom of the tumbler. Now, a little tip that you guys can do is if you wanna really smooth it out and have it not be bumpy, you can actually take a heat gun and just hit the bottom of your tumbler with your heat gun and it'll kind of flatten itself out even more. So that's a really good tip, guys. Like I tried that one day and I was like, okay, look at me with all the bomb tips. Okay, I'm just kidding. Stay humble, stay humble. Okay, so then once you have your first V on there, you go for the second piece of vinyl and then you want to do the exact same thing but in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of people ask if when you fold over that vinyl where the 2 edges meet, if you cut, make a slice where the vinyl overlaps, like if you cut with your X-Acto knife, and I do. As you can see here, I'm finding where both vinyls meet and I'm slicing so that I don't have any overlap. You can do that or you can leave it overlapped. I think that it's fine either way. And then what I do next is I come up to the rim and I pull that vinyl up and push it inside of the tumbler as tight as I possibly can, almost as tight as my Thanksgiving pants get after my 2nd serving. Okay. Then you take an X-Acto knife and slice off what's at the very, very top. And then you want to use a 1-inch painter's tape. And what you're going to do is you're going to place it right in the middle of both vinyls and you're gonna form a V, okay? Now you're gonna have pieces of tape at the very bottom that are where the tape meets, that are gonna overlap. Let that happen because you're gonna come back with your X-Acto knife and you're gonna slice those, the excess off to form that perfect V shape, okay? As you can see me doing here. I'm really excited about this cup, you guys. Normally I'm not a super huge fall tumbler person, but for some reason right now I have some inspiration for some fall cups. So let's get into it. But I have some spooky cups coming. Now, once you place your tape, you just cut around the sides of it with your X-Acto knife. You basically trace it and then you cut off that excess vinyl so that you reveal that one stainless steel V. I then added some dispersion colors to my Mod Podge just to get a little bit better coverage with that glitter so that I wasn't just going over the stainless steel with just plain clear Mod Podge and our glitter. And then I did 2 coats. I sealed it with polyacrylic and then I came in with 40 mLs of epoxy to seal this bad boy. I did 20 mLs of part A and 20 mLs of part B. Look how glossy and shiny it is. I did fast set from Counterculture for these first coats just because I barely got back from my trip from Arizona. on Wednesday at 2 in the morning. And so I had Thursday and Friday to get this done. So not very much time. I worked really, really hard so that you guys would have a tutorial. So I hope that you're enjoying it. You guys are super important to me. And I was like, you know what? I don't care if I have to like stay up late to make sure that there is a tutorial on Saturday. I am going to make it happen. So once you have that smooth surface, I ended up doing just one coat of epoxy because those 40 mLs were enough to get full coverage because that glitter is so fine. So once you have a completely smooth surface, you want to take your vinyl strips, okay? You're going to cut these yourself out of your Cricut. And all I do to cut these out is I type in a capital I. You know, the capital I, that's basically like just a long skinny rectangle, and then I stretch it out as long and as wide as I need it to be. I will go ahead and put those measurements in the description. So I did my tan strips a little bit wider, and my like rust orange strips, I did them a little bit thinner so I could place them in the center just to kind of create this like layer, you know, almost like a double cheeseburger. Instead of one patty, you have two. I love being able to explain things in a way that has food involved, because that's just, food is happiness. Food is life. Food is everything it needs to. Okay, I blacked out. I'm sorry. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm repeating the same process that I did when I applied the painter's tape. I am taking 2 pieces of, you know, vinyl, and I am following that pattern of the V, right? I'm putting the vinyl right in between the vinyl and the glitter to hide where those two meet. And then I am just taking my X-Acto knife where the 2 pieces meet, and I am cutting a perfect V-split, okay? And then once we did that, I cut out a circle out of that plaid vinyl to stick it on the bottom of my tumbler. And I have seen this tip from Kelley. She is the creator behind Dixie Darlings. She's amazing. She has her own YouTube channel. Definitely check her out. And I learned that tip of cutting out the circle from her. So super duper cute. Thanks, Kelley, for showing us that tip on your YouTube. So once I put my decal and my vinyl strips on there, I am going to go ahead and seal this with another 40 mLs of epoxy. This time I used medium viscosity. I went ahead and popped my bubbles. I popped my bubbles with my torch, and after I let it spin for about 24 hours, she was ready to go. I will show you the pictures of the final product. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm sorry it was so short, but hopefully it was sweet. I did my best to make sure that you guys had a video, and if any of you are interested in signing up for my Patreon, I will post a link in the description. And you guys can sign up at any time. We're doing some really cool stuff in there. It's also a good way for you to support me. So that will be linked in my description. Have an amazing weekend. Besitos.